All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bashim Yahshua, HaBarakakadash. Above honors to apostles, a great millstone, and salutations to the elect, which we ought to be. As your brother Hawaii, got a quick lesson for you Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, and Israelites who better shame of looking like heathens, who spirit bear witness that they're a child of Heavenly Father. In the name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, who the world inly calls Jehovah, God of Yahweh. In the name of the Heavenly Son is Yahweh Shai, who the world inly calls Jesus Christ, who is the priest of Yeshua. So, you know, pretty much, sure, I've been reading the Book of Wisdom of Solomon, and just to, because you had it in the past stuff where you had certain people who say that the Apocrypha wasn't included in stuff with the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Well, you had what's called the Bible Destruction Group, and they took 14 books out of the Bible. Matter of fact, that's the spirit. Let me get this. Uh, uh, see. It says early Christian, which you know, uh, Christian Christ is a Greek word for anointed. You know what I'm saying? So uh, you know, so it says early Christian writings not included in the New Testament. So that just proves that is part of the Old Testament. And then as you can see in the history etymology, etymon means origin or truth. You know what I'm saying? Ology, the study of the truth of the word, right? Or the study of the origin of the word, right? So, uh, as you can see and stuff, it says secret. It says secret, right? You know what I'm saying, right? For the meaning, right? So this is I'm gonna go through Wisdom of Solomon, the 10th chapter and stuff. It might be a little lengthy. You know what I'm saying? Right. So this is Wisdom of Solomon because people know the regular Bible. Well, it's all the regular Bible and stuff, but since they switched, removed it, the only Bible and stuff that you can have it with an apocrypha is in it is the 1611. You know what I'm saying, which is also going to prove that there's no J's and ain't no U's, and it's going to also show that it ain't no way and stuff that his name could be Jesus. You see, right? So the 1611 Bible and whatnot and stuff got both the regular Bible and the Old and the New Testament and stuff, including with the Apocrypha and stuff in it, which is also a part of the Old Testament. You see, right? So this is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 10, verse 1. It says, and this is it goes into wisdom, right? It says, she preserved the first formed father of the world that was created alone and brought him out of his fall. It says, and gave him power to rule all things. It's going to Adam, right? It says, but when the unrighteous went away from her, it's like it says, but when but when the unrighteous went away from her in his anger, he perished also in the fury wherewith he murdered his brother. Right. So this Genesis chapter 4, verse 7. Right. Well, I start at verse 4, 3. Uh, it says verse 2. It says, and she again, I might as well start at verse 1. This is Genesis 4 and 1. It says, and Adam knew Eve, his wife, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from Yahweh. It says, and she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep. It says, but Cain was a tiller of the ground, a farmer. Verse 3, it says, and in process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. And Abel, he also brought of the firstling of his flock. It says, and of the fat thereof. It says, and the Lord had respect unto Abel. It says, and to his offering. Because remember, the law, statutes, commandments, and stuff was word of mouth, as it says in Luke. Uh, 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 what is it? Uh, uh, Man, I usually have it. Like it says in the book of Luke and stuff, it says that the prophets and stuff been since the world began. So guess what? Instruction was always given. You see, right? So um, it's bothering me. I gotta get it. Damn, that's crazy. This is Luke 1. It's Luke 1 and 68. It says, "Blessed be the Lord, power Yahweh Bashem Yahshua, power of Israel." It says, "For he had visited and redeemed his people, and have raised up a horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David," which is Yahweh Shai. Matthew's the first chapter. It says, verse 70. It says, "As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began." So that shows that there was prophet stuff in the beginning. You see, in the beginning. You know what I'm saying, right? So it also proves and stuff that guess what? It was more people than just Adam and Eve and stuff in the land and stuff during this time, right? So I'm gonna go back. Bear with me. So it's back in Genesis chapter 4, verse 3, right? So the correct offering and stuff that the Lord wanted and whatnot and stuff, it was told. You see. So this is verse 4 again. It says, "And Abel." He also brought the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering, but unto Cain and to his offering he had not respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. It says, "And the Lord said unto Cain, Why art thou wroth?" And wroth means angry. It says, "And why is thy countenance fallen?" So guess what? That smile and stuff was turned upside down. Verse 7, it says, "If thou doest well," this is a this shows us that the Lord gave a second chance. It says, "If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? If thou does not well, sin lieth at the door." It says, "And unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him." Verse 8, it says, verse 8, it says, "And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel and his brother and slew him." You see, right? So he slew him. What the fuck is that? Right. So this is back in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 10, verse 4. It says, For whose cause the earth being drowned with the flood, wisdom again preserved it, and directed the course of the righteous in a piece of wood of small value." It says, it says, uh, it says, "Moreover, the nations in their wicked conspiracy being confounded, she found out the righteous and preserved him blameless unto the Most High." It says, "And kept him strong against his tender compassion toward his son." Right. So what does that sound like? It sounds like Noah, right? So this is Genesis chapter 7, verse 1. It says, "And the Lord said unto Noah, it says, Come thou and all thy house into the ark, for thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. Of every clean beast thou shalt take to thee by sevens." It says, "The male and his female." It says, "And of beasts that are not clean, meaning to eat, by two." It says, "The male and his female." It says, "Of the fowls also of the air by seven, the male and the female, to keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth. For yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights." And this is the referring to the flood. You know what I'm saying? Which the Grand Canyon still prove that it actually exists. You know what I'm saying? Because the only way to get ridges like that when it come down to rock, guess what? Force and stuff got to press against it. And when it come down to the Grand Canyons now and stuff, most of the water it looked like a valley. You know what I'm saying? It's like a little small stream all the way at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like a small stream and whatnot all the way at the bottom. Ain't no gigantic river, you see? Well, referring to height. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. You see? All the way at the bottom, below sea level or something like that, right? So, and then, it's already, Esau already proven the full-blood spirit of Caucasian. No matter how you look, he already proved that, uh, uh, in nature's life or whatever, those nature channels and whatnot and stuff. I was watching one day and stuff where it was going into, you know, that how the water and stuff will crash against the ice glaciers and or the rock and whatnot and stuff, and will carve out those lines, right? So the thing is that they also found fossils all the way at the top, and we know that those canyons and stuff tower. You know what I'm saying? Higher than most skyscrapers. You see, so why would a fish? You know what I'm saying? It's not like somebody engraved it and whatnot. Why would they find a fossil and stuff all the way at the top? So it shows that the flood and stuff do exist, and that it did exist and stuff. And the flood is also the first death, right? So this is back in Genesis 7 and 4 again. It says, "For yet 7 days, and I will cause it to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights, and every living substance that I have made will I destroy from off the face of the earth." And Noah did according unto all that the Lord Yahweh Bashar commanded him. It says, and Noah was 600 years old when the flood of the waters was upon the earth. And Noah went in, and his sons, and his wife, and his sons' wives with him. It says, into the ark because of the waters of the flood. It says, of clean beasts and of beasts that are not clean. It says, and of fowls and of everything that creepeth upon the earth. It says, there went in two and two unto Noah into the ark, the male and the female, as the Most High have commanded Noah. It says, and it came to pass after 7 days that the waters of the flood were upon the earth. It says, in the 600 year of Noah's life, it says, in the second month, in the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the fountains of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were opened. And, right? So it was, when it came down to the flood and whatnot and stuff, it was gushers coming out, water was coming down because they never knew what rain was. You know what I'm saying? When you go outside and stuff, you walk through the grass, ain't no sprinklers out, it ain't ain't rain at all and whatnot and stuff, but yet you get your shoes are still wet. You know what I'm saying, right? That the world, well, vegetation and stuff, the dew of the earth and whatnot and stuff is what watered it. So when Noah was talking about rain, they was looking at him sideways because they never seen it. You see, they never seen it, you know, right? So it says, and the thing is that, even though it was raining and whatnot and stuff, the thing is that it was, that water was piling up. You know what I'm saying? The earth wasn't soaking that water up. So therefore and stuff, guess what? That water was going crazy. You know what I'm saying? You know how you see people and stuff, they be doing those crazy canoe challenges and stuff when it's in the water, and that water, they got to duck and dodge and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Certain materials and whatnot. And who's to say and stuff that those, the sons of God back then and stuff knew how to swim. You know what I'm saying? And that water and stuff just pushing your ass. You know what I'm saying? Right? Right? So this is it says verse 12 that water was violent. Verse 12 it says and the rain was upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. It says in the self same day entered Noah and Shem and Ham and Japheth the sons of Noah and Noah's wife and the three wives of his sons with them into the ark, which was also 8 souls. Verse 14 it says they and every beast after his kind and all the cattle after their kind and every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth after his kind, and every fowl after his kind, every bird of every sort. And they went in unto Noah into the ark, which was the boat. Esau found that too. It says two and two of all flesh, wherein is the breath of life. Verse 16. And why was that and stuff to replenish? Right? So it says, verse 16, it says, and they that went in, male and female of all flesh, as the power had commanded him, and the Lord shut him in. And that shut him in, meaning that, guess what? Ain't nobody was going to open that door except for the Lord. You see, because imagine and stuff. You made friends. You got good connections with people. Yeah, they calling you crazy and whatnot, but they weren't moved with fear. But the Lord put fear in you and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Right, to build this ark and stuff, and they laughing. And then Noah was out there for 100+ years building that ark. You know what I'm saying? That was a big boat. You see, and the thing is that Esau found the frame, but it's like this. you know, Imagine you got certain people, not just swimming their ass and stuff to the to the ark and whatnot and stuff, probably getting pushed in it, like they smacking on it, smacking on the wood and whatnot and stuff. You see, just to give, speaking as a man, right? Because the waters was violent. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't just in the middle of the ocean. Nah, that water and stuff was violent. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, when it comes down to the water and stuff, you already know when you underwater and stuff, and you try to move or run and whatnot and stuff, that shit really slow you down because more denser and stuff than air. You see, and the thing is that he was just imagine you hear plop 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 plop. You know what I'm saying? And you got this big old boat and stuff that's being that's floating. You know what I'm saying? Upon the waters, right? So imagine stuff. You got certain friends and people and stuff, and they over there. I'm sorry, I should have listened. Noah, let us in, let us in, let us in, Noah, let us in, let us in, let us in. And then it also shows and stuff. Guess what? The water and stuff was most definitely not high enough and stuff for them to, when they show it in movies and stuff, when the boat and stuff is going through the waves, and whatnot. Nobody nobody was crashing, through the water off a wave and stuff that hit the surface of the boat. You know what I'm saying? To slide in there and be, it wasn't happening that way and stuff, right? So that shows that boat was most definitely towering. And then the thing is that it's like this. Um, them people the people over there, let us in, let us in. So you got people and stuff you dealt with, people that came over your crib and whatnot and stuff, people that knew your sons, or or think about it like this. This is me speaking, just speaking as a man. Look at it like this. You know what I'm saying? For the fact that those, since Shem, Ham, and Japheth, since they had wives and whatnot and stuff, them wives would have had to come through the seed line from their fathers. Let's just say hypothetically speaking and stuff, they weren't dead and whatnot. Guess what? The your brother-in-law and whatnot and stuff, and say he has a wife and whatnot. Of course, you know what I'm saying. They and his sister-in-law and whatnot and stuff. You know what I'm saying, that your sons got with their daughters and stuff, and they over there smacking the wood like, let us in, let us in. But there's a reason still why the scripture says that the Lord has shut that door. You see, I'm gonna read it again. It says, verse 16, and they went in, they that went in, male and female of all flesh, as the Most High have commanded him, and the Lord shut him in. You see, the Lord has shut him in. You see, the Lord has shut him in and whatnot and stuff. So it was no prying that door open. You know what I'm saying? The latch, you know what I'm saying, however way and stuff it was, you know what I'm saying, it was no way and stuff that Noah was going to be able to open that door. You see, you know, right? So this verse 17. Just imagine that. You know what I'm saying? People sorry and whatnot and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And you over there like, I can't do anything. Like, look at the fact that Noah was trapped in the boat. He built it, but he couldn't open it until everything was over. Then guess what, it opens. You see? Verse 18, it says, and the waters prevailed. Now, verse 17, it says, and the flood was 40 days upon the earth, and the waters increased, and bare up the ark, and it was lift up above the earth. It says, and the waters prevailed and were increased greatly upon the earth, and the ark went upon the face of the waters. You see, right? So this is and yeah, it's gonna be lengthy. It's been certain parts and stuff where I just went straight to the point, but you know, Jake and stuff. They need the context. So uh Wisdom of Solomon 10:6. It says when the ungodly perish, she delivered the righteous man who fled from the fire, which fell down upon the five cities. It says, of whose wickedness even to this day the wasteland that smoketh is a testimony, and plants bearing fruit that never come to ripeness. It says, and a standing pillar of salt is a monument of an unbelieving soul. Right. So this is Genesis 19. We're gonna start at verse 1. This is Genesis 19, verse 1. And it says, and there came two angels to Sodom. And you also in previous, the book of Genesis and stuff, Yahweh Shai actually visited Abraham and Sarah. To let them know and stuff. Guess what? I think it's actually the 18th chapter. Yeah, it is. Yahweh Shai and stuff visited them. And let them know that had let them know that that they was going to have a son at their old age. Abraham was 100 years old and stuff, and Sarah was 90. So they over there laughing and giggling and stuff. At their age, being able to still be able to bear children. And they giggled and whatnot, and they laughed and whatnot, and therefore Isaac came out. Because Isaac's name means laughter. You see, you know right? And then pretty much the stuff Abraham through the spirit and stuff understood why those two angels stuff was there. So he started asking Yahweh Shai, like if it's 100 people, I probably got the numbers wrong, Salakia, but it's like if it's 100 people and stuff, 100 righteous people and stuff, would you save 100 and stuff, will destroy all, right? And then he went down to 50 and stuff, Then it went down to just one person, and he was referring to Lot, his nephew, you see. He was referring to Lot and stuff, his nephew and whatnot and stuff, because the Lord was going to destroy that area. And Abraham knew that Lot was in there, you see, because they departed and stuff because their servants and stuff was getting into it and stuff because both of them was rich, you see, right? So this is Genesis 19. Abraham knew that the Lord was going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, which there's three other cities. There's three other cities and whatnot and stuff. But he was praying pretty much. He prayed means to ask. He asked Yahweh Shai to save Lot. So this is Genesis chapter 19, verse 1. It says, and there came two angels to Sodom at even. It says, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom. And remember, Lot was a righteous man and stuff. He was vexed with the filthy conversation. And that conversation meaning behavior. But more than likely, if their behavior and stuff was wicked, they most definitely was speaking on it too, right? So he was vexed day by day, right? So it is Genesis 19 and 1. It says, and there came two angels to Sodom at even, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom, and Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them, and he bowed himself with his face toward the ground. It says, and he said, behold, now my lords, turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet, and ye shall rise up early and go on your ways. And they said, nay, but we will abide in the street all night. Verse 3, it says, and he pressed upon them greatly, and they turned in unto him and entered into his house. And he made them a feast and did bake unleavened bread. It says, and they did eat. Verse 4, it says, it's like if I'm reading slow, it says, but before they lay down, the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, passed the house round both old and young, all the people from every quarter. It says, and they, it says, and they called unto Lot and said unto him, where are the men which came in to thee this night? Bring them out unto us that we may know them. And that's talking about sex. You know what I'm saying? You know how Adam knew his wife, knew Eve and stuff. She became his wife, and sex is marriage. You know what I'm saying? Right? Unlawful marriages and stuff don't count. You know what I'm saying? And that's in Genesis the 38th chapter and stuff when Judah found out that he slept with his stepdaughter. Right? Shit. Uh, uh, you had and angels and stuff come as men, you see. And the thing is that you had young and old want to have sex. You know what I'm saying? Sodomites, you see, homosexuals, you see. And it says, verse 5, it says, and they called unto Lot and said unto him, where are the men which came in to thee this night? Bring them out unto us that we may know them. It says, and Lot went out at the door unto them and shut the door after him and said, I pray. And it also proves, because I think it's in the book of Sirach, it also proves the stuff that when you have visitors and stuff, the one who owns the house and stuff is supposed to protect the visitors, you see. And it says, and Lot went out at the door unto them and shut the door after him and said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly. Behold, now, being an ambassador, right? Mediator, right? Middleman. It says, behold, now I have two daughters which have not known man. Let me, I pray you, virgins. It says, bring them out unto you, and do ye to them as is good in your eyes. It says, only unto these men do nothing, for therefore came they under the shadow of my roof. It says, and they said, stand back. And they said again, the one fellow came in to sojourn, and he will needs be a judge. Now will we deal worse with thee than with them? You know what I'm saying? So since Lot was like, nah, you ain't finna have sex with these guys. I got some daughters and stuff who ain't never get no pipe. You know what I'm saying? Who hymen and stuff is still attached. You know what I'm saying? Deal with that, because dealing with a virgin and stuff is a high value. You know what I'm saying? Right. So he you know he trying to offer his daughters. You know what I'm saying? And they like, look, man, since your ass won't let them, excuse my language, but it's like since you don't want to sit up here and give us those two men, guess what? We finna deal with you. You know what I'm saying? Right? And it says, verse 9, it says, and they said, stand back. And they said again, this one fellow came in to sojourn. It says, and he will needs be a judge. Now will we deal worse with thee than with them? And they pressed sore upon the man, even Lot. It says, and came near to break the door. It's like, yeah, right? Bear with me. So it's like, so you had another individual and stuff who was like, nah, don't do this. You know what I'm saying? But they pressed against both of them because them homos and stuff didn't care. They wanted to get their rocks off. You know what I'm saying, right? It says, it says, it says, and they pressed sore upon the man, even Lot, and came near to break the door. It says, but the men put forth their hand and pulled Lot into the house to them, and shut to the door. Meaning one of the angels. It says, and they smote the men. Uh, uh, it says, and they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great, so that they wearied themselves to find the door. So like it says in Deuteronomy 28, and I think it's 28 and 29. Bear with me. I'm at verse 10. There's Deuteronomy 28. Uh, this is Deuteronomy 28:28. It says, "And the Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart." It says, "And thou shalt grope at noonday." You know what I'm saying, right? So pretty much what was going on and stuff, they was like the three blind mice. They was like the three blind mice and whatnot and stuff. So they trying to find the door. You know what I'm saying? So they was smitten with blindness. They couldn't see, right? So this is uh verse 11 again. It says, "And they smote the men that were at the door of the house." It says, "with blindness, both small and great, so that they wearied themselves to find the door." So they were searching. You know what I'm saying? Verse 12, it says, "And the man said unto Lot, Hast thou here any besides son-in-law and thy sons and thy daughters?" And it says, "Thy daughters, and whatsoever thou hast in the city, bring them out of this place," meaning escape. It says, "For we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxing great before the face of the Lord, and the Lord hath sent us to destroy it." You see, 14, and guess what? That was just two angels. Two angels. One can destroy the America. It just shows the power that the angels hold and stuff. You see, so when it comes down to spiritual powers, that celestial power and stuff that's going to be added on to us, man. Hey, we most definitely looking for that, but we got to hold on to the faith, though. You see, right? So this is Genesis 19 and 14. It says, "And Lot went out and spake unto his sons-in-law, which married his daughters, and said, Up, get you out of this place." It says, "For the Lord will destroy this city." But he seemed as one that mocked onto his sons-in-law. So guess what? They thought he was joking, right? Verse 15, it says, "And when the morning rose, then the angels hastened Lot, saying, Arise, take thy wife and thy two daughters, which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquity of this of the city." Right? It says, verse 16, it says, "And while he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hand, and upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his two daughters." It says, "The Lord Yahweh, Yahweh Bashem Yashai, being merciful unto him, and they brought him forth and set him without the city." Verse 17, it says, "And it came to pass, when they had brought them forth abroad, that he said, Escape for thy life, look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plain, escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed." Right? So guess what? That means that it was going to be a vast radius. Remember, 5 cities got destroyed, you see, by fire and brimstone. You know what I'm saying, right? And it says, "And Lot said unto them, Oh, not so, my Lord." It says, "Behold, now thy servant hath found grace in thy sight." It says, "And thou hast magnified thy mercy, which thou hast shewed unto me in saving my life. And I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil take me and I die. Behold, now this city is near to flee unto, and it is a little one. Oh, let me escape thither. Is it not a little one? And my soul shall live." Oh, shit. Verse 21, it says, "And he said unto him, See, I have accepted thee concerning this thing also, that I would not overthrow this city for the which thou hast spoken." It says, "Has hasty escape thither, for I cannot do anything till thou be come thither." Therefore the name of the city was called Zor. It says, "The sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered into Zor." Right? So it took a whole day. You know what I'm saying? Well, when the time came, you know, and it says, it was like, keep walking, keep walking, keep walking. Verse 24, it says, "Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven, meteorites." It says, so they weren't just, toasting and whatnot and stuff. Them homos and stuff was most definitely getting bashed by big rocks. Look at, who is it? Madara. You know what I'm saying? Right when you had the fourth great ninja war. You know what I'm saying? When Madara, even in his re-emanation version and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? He had that you had Madara and stuff. You had that great stone that came out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? You know, and you know ninjutsu and all that stuff was most definitely not there in those times. You see, so, you know, it was not just one, but it was also two. You know what I'm saying? That's why they looked at Madara and stuff as a god. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is that uh, uh, plus imagine those, but many of them on fire. You know what I'm saying? Probably wasn't that large, but a few could be enough. You know what I'm saying? You know, uh, 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 just not, they weren't just toasting and stuff. They been crushed too with hot rocks. You see, right? And it says, verse 25, it says, and he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities and that which grew upon the ground. But his wife looked back from behind him. Why she do that and stuff? Because she was worried. It's like she looked back and whatnot and stuff because she cared about what was being left behind instead of just looking. It's like, well, if the Lord and stuff made him rich, you know what I'm saying, the Lord can make him rich again. You know what I'm saying? But she cared about the things behind. And guess what? That's it's gonna be the same way and stuff for the unbelievers who's not gonna leave America behind. You know what I'm saying? Like that one video and stuff on Netflix. I mean movie. I don't got it and stuff, but you know, it says to leave the world behind and stuff. Guess what? A lot of people are not going to do that. You see, guess what they're going to get, especially in North America, you know what I'm saying, where the lake of fire and stuff is going to happen, which is the second death. And the thing is, a lot of people are not going to repent unto the Lord. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's going to be too late by the time that they try to repent. You see? Ooh. So this is Genesis 19 and 26, and this is the unbelieving soul. It says, but his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. You know what I'm saying? You know how when you sweat, you know what I'm saying, it's salty and whatnot and stuff, right? She crystallized, and guess what? Esau found her ass too. Esau found her. Esau found Lot's wife and whatnot. They said that it was a humanoid, uh, uh, like the scripture says, the earth shall help the woman. There was a humanoid sculpture, and it was all salt, all salt. So guess what that means? That means that that heat was so hot from the distance that they was walking. You know what I'm saying, right? And she probably turned back and was like, ain't nothing going on and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Disbelief. And guess what? Because it doesn't make sense for both of them, Lot and his wife and his daughters to all still be next to each other. She had to run back and stuff because it was like they didn't destroy nothing. They lied to us. And she was in the range. She was in range. And guess what? She dehydrated. You know what I'm saying? She turned into a pillar of salt, right? It says, verse 20, right? Well, there you go, right? It says, and she became a pillar of salt, right? So this is back in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 10. Bear with me. This Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 10, verse 8. It says, for regarding not wisdom, they got not only this hurt, that they knew not the things which were good, but also left behind them to the world a memorial of their foolishness. It says, so that in the things wherein they offend, they could not so much as be hid. It says, verse 9, it says, but wisdom delivered from pain those that attended upon her. And what was the wise thing that Lot paid attention to and stuff? It's like, these men over here, first, the people was damn near ready to break the door down and stuff, and now they can't find it. You know what I'm saying? So he took heed, and that was a wise thing to do. You see? And it says, this is verse 10, right? Is verse 10. And it says, when the righteous fled from his brother's wrath, she guided him in right paths. It says, shewed him the kingdom of the Most High, and gave him knowledge of holy things, made him rich in his travels, and multiplied the fruits of his labors. Um, it says, right. So this is bear with me. Bear with me. So this verse. So this is I'm gonna read verse 11. It says, in the covetous of such as oppressed him, she stood by him and made him rich. She defended him from his enemies and kept him safe from those that lay in wait. And in a sore conflict, she gave him the victory that he might know that goodness is stronger than all. It says, when the righteous was sold, it says, when the righteous was sold, she forsook him not, but delivered him from sin. She went down with him into the pit, it says, and left him not in bonds till she brought him the scepter of the kingdom and power against those that oppressed him. As for them that had accused him, she shewed them to be liars and gave him a perpetual glory. So who's that talking about? Joseph. This is Genesis 37, right? Verse 1. It says, and Jacob, I think I got it twisted. Like it. Yeah, I think I got it. Slack it. Bear with me. Uh, yeah, this is Genesis 37, verse 1. It says, and Jacob dwelt in the land wherein his father was a stranger in the land of Canaan. It says, these are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brethren, and the lad was with the sons of Bilhah and with the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives. And Joseph brought unto his father their evil report. It says, now Israel, which is also Jacob. Jacob's name was changed to Israel. It says, now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children because he was the son of his old age. You know what I'm saying? Right? He saw that his soldiers and stuff still march. It says, and he made him a coat of many colors. And guess what? That was a trophy onto Israel. That was a trophy onto Jacob. You know what I'm saying? To keep him, because he was proud of that. He was proud of that, right? So this is he was proud of that and stuff, and that was something for him. You know what I'm saying? Right? So every time Joseph would walk around with that coat on and stuff, it'd be like, yeah, yeah, my soldiers still march and stuff, even though I'm old. You know what I'm saying? It's something. He wasn't shooting out blanks and stuff or shooting out dust. You know what I'm saying? He was happy, right? It says It says, now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a coat of many colors. And when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him and could not speak peacefully unto him. But that's what they didn't understand. Verse 5, it says, and Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told it his brethren, and they hated him yet the more. And he said unto them, hear, I pray you, this dream which I have dreamed. For behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and lo, my sheaf arose and also stood upright. And behold, your sheaves stood round about and made obeisance to my sheaf, meaning that it bowed down. It obeyed. You know what I'm saying? You know, and it showed that one was in more authority than the others. You see, and it says, verse 8, it says, and his brethren said to him, shalt thou indeed reign over us, or shalt thou indeed have dominion over us? And they hated him yet the more for his dreams and for his words. And that's just for a dream, right? Verse 9, which really it was a vision. You know what I'm saying? But the hatred already started and stuff because of the coat. You see, right? And it says, verse well, the envy started, right? You know, and it turned to hate. So verse 10, it says, and he told it to his father and to his brethren, and his father rebuked him and said unto him, what is this dream that thou hast dreamed? Shall I and thy mother and thy brethren indeed come to bow down ourselves to thee to the earth? It says, and his brethren envied him, but his father observed the saying. You know what I'm saying? You know, so he took it in consideration. Jacob took it in consideration. Like, nah, this means something. You see, right? And it says, verse 12, it says, and his brethren went to feed their father's flock in Shechem. It says, and Israel said unto Joseph, do not thy brethren feed the flock in Shechem? Come, and I will send thee unto them. And he said to him, here am I. And he said to him, go, I pray thee, see whether it will be well with thy brethren. It says, and well with the flocks, and bring me word again. So he sent him out of the vale of Hebron. It says, and he came to Shechem. It says, and a certain man found him, and behold, he was wandering in the field, and the man asked him, saying, what seekest thou? And he said, I seek my brethren. Tell me, I pray thee, where they feed their flocks. 17, it says, and the man said, they are departed hence, for I heard them say, let us go to Dothan. And Joseph Joseph went after his brethren and found them in Dothan. And when they saw him afar off, even before he came near unto them, they conspired against him to slay him. Right? You're going to take word conspire, it's the word in the call. And it says the fraud that is, to the fraud that is, act treacherously. You know what I'm saying? Right? Right? So they was coming up with plots and plans and stuff to do him in. Right? And it says, it's like I got to keep checking because it's going to probably be two parts. It says, verse 19. It says, and they said one to another, behold, this dreamer cometh. It says, come now, therefore, and let us slay him and cast him into some pit. And it says, and pretty much throw him in a ditch. It says, and we'll say some evil beast have devoured him, and we shall see what will become of his dreams. You know what I'm saying? And that's just a dream. How much more and stuff when somebody got a higher portion of a spirit than you? And we seen that when it came down to King Saul and when in David. You see, actually, it said that King Saul and stuff feared David because he knew that the Lord was with him. But then, guess what? Even at that time, well, no, it's like it, So, you know. But anyways, this is Genesis 37 and 21. And it's like, your dreams don't come true. I think that was in Naruto too, not the Shippuden. But yeah, this is when he mastered the Rasengan and stuff and used it on Kabuto and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And Kabuto was like, you just, because he was protecting the Tsunade, who became the fifth Hokage and stuff, right? And the thing is, uh, 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 Kabuto was like, it's like you just throw it all away. Dreams don't happen and stuff when you're dead. That's how it was and stuff when it came down to his own brothers, flesh and blood. You are what your father is. You know what I'm saying? Flesh and blood and whatnot and stuff. Guess what? They was ready and stuff to slay him off that dream. You know what I'm saying? If you ever, and then you got to really pay attention. It shows that people don't really think afar off. It's like, well, if the brother is rich, then the whole family gonna be good, right? But it all started with that coat, right? So this Genesis 37 and 20 again, it says, come now, therefore, and let us slay him and cast him into some pit, and we will say, some evil beast had devoured him. So they already came up with their lie. It says, and we shall see what will become of his dreams. And Reuben heard it, and he delivered him out of their hands and said, let us not kill him. And Reuben said unto them, shed no blood, but cast him into this pit that is in the wilderness, and lay no hand upon him, that he might rid him out of their hands to deliver him to his father again. You know what I'm saying? Meaning that, he calmed him down, gave an ultimatum and stuff where he would still be alive. You know what I'm saying? And the whole time, all Reuben was going to do was come back. I might be jumping the gun, but all Reuben was going to do was come back, you know what I'm saying, and pull him out of the pit, right? So this is, I know it's a lot, right? But verse 23, verse 23, it says, and it came to pass when Joseph was come unto his brethren, that they stripped Joseph out of his coat, and his coat of many colors that was on him. Sounds like a nigga today. You know what I'm saying? Up that, right? Verse 24, it says, and they took him and cast him into a pit, and the pit was empty, there was no water in it. And they sat down to eat bread, and they lifted up their eyes and looked, and behold, a company of Ishmaelites came from Gilead with their camels bearing spicery and balm and myrrh, going to carry it down to Egypt. And Judah said unto his brethren, what profit is it if we slay our brother and counsel and conceal his blood? Right? So Judah was on the same. It says, come. It says, because they didn't want him around, bro. They didn't want him around. Verse 27, it says, come and let us sell him to the Ishmaelites. But it says, come and let us sell him to the Ishmaelites and let pretty much put him in slavery. It says, and let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother and our flesh, and his brethren were content. Then there passed by Midianites, merchantmen. It says, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver, and they brought Joseph into Egypt. Verse 29, it says, and Reuben returned onto the pit, and it just shows the stuff that Reuben wasn't around and stuff when Judah and stuff came up with this thought. It says, and behold, Joseph was not in the pit, and he rent his clothes, meaning he mourned. It says, and he returned unto his brethren and said, the child is not, and I whither shall I go? And they, like it, yeah, the whole thing, right? And it says, verse 31, it says, and they took Joseph's coat and killed a kid which is of the goats, and dipped the coat in the blood. It says, and they sent the coat of many colors, and they brought it to their father and said, this have we found, know now whether it be thy son's coat or no. It says, and he knew it and said, it is my son's coat, and evil beasts have devoured him. Joseph is without doubt rent in pieces. It says, and Jacob rent his clothes. It says, and put sackcloth upon his loins and mourned for his son many days. You know what I'm saying? So he was crying. You know what I'm saying? Right? He thought he was dead. It says, and all his sons and all his daughters rose up to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted. And he said, for I will go down into the grave unto my son mourning. Thus his father wept for him, and the Midianites sold him into Egypt unto Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh's and captain of the guard. And we already know and stuff that Joseph was in jail. You know what I'm saying? But because of the dreams and the interpretations and whatnot and stuff got him out of jail, right? So this is Genesis, bear with me. This is Genesis 41 and 37. It says, and the thing was good in the eyes, It says, and the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh and in the eyes of all his servants. It says, and Pharaoh said unto his servants, can we find such a one as this is, a man in whom the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yashai is? And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, for as much as the Most High have shewed thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art. It says, thou shalt be over my house, right? You saw them dreams that he was having when it came down to his brothers. It says, thou shalt be over my house, and according unto the word, thy word, shall all my people be ruled. It says, only in the throne will I be greater than thou. It says, and Pharaoh said unto Joseph, see, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand and put it upon Joseph's hand, and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen, and put a gold chain about his neck. It says, and he made him to ride in the second chariot which he had, meaning high authority. It says, and they cried before him, bowed the knee, and he made him ruler over all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without thee shall no man lift up his hand or foot in all the land of Egypt. Verse 45, and Pharaoh called Joseph name Zaphnath Paneah. It says, and he gave him to wife Asenath, the daughter of Pontiphera, priest of On, and Joseph went out over all the land of Egypt. You see, so his dreams came true. Those, and that's how you know stuff. That guess what? Those dreams weren't dreams. You know what I'm saying? Those was visions. You know what I'm saying? That showed that guess what? He was going to be higher than his brethren. You know what I'm saying? Because when it came down to the famine in the land and stuff, it was because of Joseph. You know what I'm saying? Right? That he brought out. It was because of Joseph and whatnot and stuff that he saved many people and stuff from dying. You know what I'm saying? When it comes down to the 7 years of famine and the 7 years and stuff of having plenty, you see. All right, so you see that, right? So this is going back to Wisdom of Solomon. So like I'm gonna have to do two parts. You know what I'm saying? This is Wisdom of Solomon. Oh gosh, cold. It's cold, motherfucker. This Wisdom of Solomon 10. Back in Wisdom of Solomon 10 and 15, it says I read 14 again. It says, and left him not in bonds till she brought him the scepter of the kingdom. Because remember, the Lord was with Joseph. It says, in power against those that oppressed him. It says, his brethren, right? It says, it says, as for them that had accused him, she shewed them to be liars and gave him a perpetual glory. And that's in that movie. I think it's the Prince of Egypt. Yeah, I think it's the Prince of Egypt. And it goes into that story and stuff of how Joseph, didn't know and stuff that they had a little brother and stuff, which was Benjamin. You know what I'm saying? And he got his lick back. You know what I'm saying? Messed with them and the whole time and stuff since he was in high authority. He just brought his family and stuff into Egypt and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? You see how things work. You know what I'm saying, right? He brought his family and stuff into Egypt. You know what I'm saying? So they can be good and eat. You know what I'm saying? And then guess what? He was rich. The whole family was good. You see? Beautiful. Right? Right. So I'm gonna let it slide all the way to the no, I can just do it this way.